If you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the right place. If you ever thought about getting into real estate, you're in the right place. If you've ever thought about that whole concept of shared living or co-housing, but didn't want it to really be a group home because that requires a license, zoning, and you have to own the property and buy a $30,000 sprinkler system, you are also in the right place. My name is Derrick Forston, and as you can see on my shirt, I represent Second Chance Housing, and that's my personal independent living facility where we take people from homeless to hopeful, and we do that in a shared living environment. This beautiful lady is my better half. Her name is Shay. Shay, tell people who you are and what you do.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Shay Forston, president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, co-founder here at Forston Consultants. And guess what? I do the exact same thing that he does, and that is the independent living facility housing model, but I do it from the nonprofit standpoint. I am a 501c3 registered nonprofit organization that helps women go from homeless to hopeful, utilizing the ILF, which is standing for Independent Living Facility Model. And super excited to share more about that tonight. Bring your questions, as we will be asking some questions tonight. That we're getting back to our regular of make sure that we do good with timing. So bring your questions, come one, come all. We're going to dive in on the Independent Living Facility Model and let you know a little bit more about who we are and what we do.
Take a drive down Los Angeles' Skid Row, filled with tents, people, and growing frustration.
If I can get back into another residence, then I won't make the same mistakes I made before.
According to new federal data, a record number of people are now unhoused, more than 653,000, a 12% population increase since last year. Mel Tilakaratna runs a nonprofit that provides free showers to people living on the street.
The system is completely overwhelmed.
Tilakaratna points to a rise in housing costs, the opioid epidemic, mental health issues, and the migrant crisis as factors exacerbating the problem in LA.
We have families, asylum seekers to families in LA who become homeless, and prior where we would be able to send them to a motel or a shelter within a couple of days, now there's absolutely no resources.
These issues are also creating friction in major cities. Back in September, New York Mayor Eric Adams revealed new fears as tens of thousands of asylum seekers flooded the city.
I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City.
In Phoenix, the city recently cleared a large encampment located downtown.
It seems that the quote-unquote cleanup that the city did just spread the mess out a lot further. People going through everyone's dumpsters, dragging stuff out into the streets.
Across LA, officials have tried to clear out encampments.
They come hit tents and then all your stuff will be gone.
This year, Los Angeles County declared a state of emergency. Since then, officials say they have provided health services, counseling, substance abuse treatment, and found temporary housing for more than 15,000 people and permanent housing for more than 8,000. But even those resources are not enough for frustrated business owners like this woman who doesn't want to be identified.
We'll feed them. We offer food, but if they don't want it, what can we do? It's very frustrating. They'll throw things at you and they'll grab you.
A growing national problem that could take decades to fix. Dana Griffin, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
Welcome back, everybody, to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. So as I was saying, guys, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the right place, right? If you ever wanted to start your own housing program, but you thought it had to be a group home that required a license, you're in the right place again, because we do a model that does not require a license. You don't have to own the property, and you don't have to buy a $30,000 sprinkler system. Yeah. In Jacksonville, Florida, guys, is y'all next opportunity to do that. Even though tonight's title is talking about, I'm going to answer some questions, right? I do that all the time. But there is nothing like coming to one of our live events, because the pretty cooler part about it is that day 2 is an actual walkthrough. Yep. So not only are we going to teach you guys the game of what it is on November 1st, but November 2nd, we're actually going to walk you through a live running, operating independent living facility of somebody that was just like you all. That one day was just watching me on YouTube or having the thought of it, but now you moved at the speed of instruction. You got the coaching, you trusted God, you trusted us, and you did the work. So that's the person that we're going to be highlighting, and we're going to be giving y'all guys more information about who that person is and location and all of that as we go. But for right now, November the 1st, Jacksonville, Florida, ilfconsulting.org is the website. ilfconsulting.org is the website.
Anyway, but like I said, a lot of times people don't realize the hurdles you have to go through when you're trailblazing something. And that's something that we did in the interim. I would say Derrick did, especially on different platforms, and sharing this with people on what it is and how it works. And people didn't believe them. And they were like, oh, that's crazy. You ain't doing that, blah, blah, blah. So when we formulated all of the education, the curriculum for the ILF Mastery Blueprint and all of our coaching models, it made sense. You know, we had an attorney that talked to us and was like, you guys need to do something, and that's trademark this quickly. And we went right down that path and did it. So if you see anything with independent living facilities, independent living homes, that's us. We actually have the trademark, and that's what we're doing, is sharing this all over God's good creation so that we can take people from homeless to hopeful. So Renee asked, how do you deal with HOAs?
We don't. We do not go in HOAs. I'm glad you asked that. I got a whole book about that kind of stuff. An HOA is going to usually have in the small print to where you can't run a business out of that community, or sublease, which is essentially what we do. So again, we avoid HOAs at all costs. Guys, if you text the word new to this phone number that I'm getting ready to scream out, you grab your pencil and paper. But if you come to YouTube, you're going to see it. TikTok will kick me off if I keep saying that number. So text the word new to 407-326-0086. And it's pinned to the chat on TikTok, and it's scrolling below on YouTube.
When you do that,
Renee,
when you do send that message, I see people doing it now. Make sure you fill out the form, because what it's going to do is give you access to our education portal. So that's where you're going to be able to go and access the course. This is actually our mini series for you. It's called ILF 101, right?
Yes, ma'am.
ILF 101, it's a mini series that we gift you, and it just breaks down so many hot topics. Like, it is it is such a blessing.
The next step is, obviously you've probably already watched the webinar by now, because if you haven't, you can text that word new to the phone number scrolling below, or that's on that screen. So text that word new. That not only is going to give you our introductory webinar, it's also going to give you a free course. So I'm gonna just tell my team right now, guys, when 50 people get that free course, just turn it off, because I want to bless the people that move at the speed of instruction. So again, if they text that word new to the phone number that's on that screen, they can absolutely get that. And let me just give some advice on that. He said, which one should I do, or what should I do? So there's two choices. Well, actually three. First choice is our free coaching on YouTube, 7 days a week. Like, I'm hard to miss, guys, on social media. 7 days a week, Shay and I are somewhere on this platform talking, on YouTube usually. Next step is the DIY program. If you feel like you don't need the one-on-one coaching, but you want all the material, all the instruction, all the coaching, all the training, and the back-end system that runs it all. But if you anything like me and you're a little bit of a knucklehead and you need one-on-one coaching, you want somebody to hold your hand, you want me to become your big brother, you want the one-on-one coaching called the ILF Mastery Blueprint. And then my assistant, Jen, is in here. She's the grant giver. So sometimes we have scholarships and different kind of grants. Jennifer, in fact, if you're in here, because they had some really bad weather today in their country, Jennifer's in the Philippines. So if Jennifer's not here, you guys can still text the word Jen, J-E-N-N, to that same phone number, right? And she can bless your soul too.
And then I have that up on the lower third for anybody that wants to text the word new. And then let's go ahead. So for one, I'm going to get to Renee asked, are we going to have any workshops in the Houston, Texas area? It's one of those areas that we've been talking about, because we coach a few people in Houston. So we may do it early in the new year. It just depends on what our schedule looks like. Derrick and I are taking some time off to kind of just dive into some stuff and get things fully operational for January, because as of December 31, our one-on-one coaching will look completely different. So we are planning that out. So if you want all access to Derrick and myself, now is the time, because December 31st, that's it.
Yeah.
Like it, not that
in terms of what it looked like for 7 years, right? And the cool part about it, you new folks won't even know it or know the difference. But like Shay just told you, she gave you a major cheat code, guys. If you want access to Shay and I for the one-on-one coaching, you need to get it before December 31st, because next year, starting January, guys, my coaching is changing a little bit.
And
it's going to be the same great info.
Associate coaches.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of
right.
So for 7 years, it's just been me. Yeah. We're now training a team of coaches. So a lot of you folks in January will get people from our team, which again, nothing's wrong with that. But for 7 years, it's just been me and Shay.
Yeah.
Right. But moving forward, guys. Now, trust me, if that don't matter to you, then you come in next March.
Right.
But if you say, no, Derrick, I think I want you, bro, to make sure it's you, then make sure you get in by December 31st. But regardless, it's going to be the same great coaching.
For everybody that's texting Jen, if she doesn't get back to you tonight, know that she will be on it.
And please also don't text Jen if you're not like financially ready to move forward. She just gives scholarships and grants that kind of help financially. Correct. It's not a full ride scholarship. So I want to make sure that I also say that, because I don't want to mislead anybody. So if you're financially ready and you know this is what God has called you to, those are the people that should be texting Jen.
And then do you always have to, here we go. Do you always have to rent from private landlords and not a management company?
So it's preferred through the private landlords because they're going to understand it better. Whereas if you explain this to a property manager company, they got to now call the guy in New York who owns the property, nowhere near where you kind of live at. And they're going to explain it, but not the way that we coach you to say it.
Yeah.
So they're not going to say the right message in order to get the yes. So I often tell people, stick with the private landlords, not a property management company.
Yeah,
great question.
Always misconstrue the information. Yep. Yeah, so you don't want that to happen. So,
someone says, what are we selling? Nothing. So we're just talking about independent living facilities and how you can walk off your job by Thanksgiving if you desire to be in real estate and help people. So we do independent living facilities, Miss Smith. So if you just join us, or anybody that so I'll pretend all of y'all just got here and here's a room refresh. They and I teach people how to take a regular residential property and take people from homeless to hopeful. We call them independent living facilities. These are not group homes. They're not IDDs. They're not ALFs. All those require a license. All those require permission from your city and state and a $30,000 sprinkler system. Yep. We use a model where you can go and rent a place, connect with social workers and case managers, move people in, and everybody pay rent versus a mom and dad and 3 kids. Because I got properties all over, and me and Shay do all that stuff. But the ILF model, we take a 4-bed, 2-bath home, and we take 8 people from homeless to hopeful. Now, let's just say you run into some guy that said, well, Derrick, I don't want to share no room. Well, he can get a private room, but the price is different. So again, we house independent adults that can cook their own bologna sandwich, that can take their own medications, and that can provide and arrange their own transportation. So if I only had 30 seconds to tell people what we do, Miss Smith, that is it. And what's cool about it, no license required, and you can rent or lease the property. And just in case if you just got here, watch this, y'all. I resigned from my job in 2018 to do this full time.
Yep.
But God messed around and showed me a lady that was making 41 grand a month doing exactly what I'm telling y'all right now.
Yeah.
She just did it in rats and roaches. We decided to get into it and show the love of God with it and do it the right way. Mm-hmm. So that's what we do in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. No license requirement, and you don't have to own the property. So I would say, why wouldn't you want to get in this?
Right.
Because I tell people, if you love God, love people, and you've been trying to get into real estate, you just met your newest big brother, and that's me and your sister, Miss Shay.
Again, for those of you on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, know that we will be in Jacksonville, Florida, November the 1st for our ILF Anywhere Lunch and Learn, which is going to be highlighting or spotlighting an ILF owner operator that is under our coaching. This is a one-day event, but you can, if you buy the VIP ticket, because we believe you're all VIPs, That is for the first day. That is the Saturday. The Sunday is day 2, which is a part of the elite ticket. Okay. The elite ticket is a tour of the independent living facility that is operated by the individual that we are spotlighting. And you get that opportunity to ask her questions, really engage with this young lady and get to know the process. What does she go through? How does she manage? Get in her own head, in her head.
How does she follow the coaching to do it?
Right. How does she even, all of that. So this is what this event is all about. We're not only going to show you how we do what we're doing, but we also going to interact, engage with you. All tickets that you purchase come with the HRA Business in a Box, which is Housing Referral Agent or Agency and Business in a Box. And this is the foundational aspect of the independent living facility model. So this is like step 1 through 10 instead of step 1 through 100. So we're giving you the foundational aspect. This is what's going to keep your phone ringing. And this goes into this next question, Derrick. This is going to get, the connections with the case managers and social workers, because the goal of the housing referral agent or agency is to start getting those phone calls and being able to refer them to housing providers. So how magnificent is it that we're going to put you in the room with housing providers that are in that specific location and giving you the course on how to become a housing referral agency or agent, and then connect with that individual so that when your phone starts ringing, you can start making a referral fee by doing the placements into this young lady or anyone else that's theirs independent living facility. So super important for that. So
good stuff.
I have a question from Ashley. So Ashley says, how do we get a hold of the social workers and when calling people won't let you through and emails aren't posted online?
That's actually kind of not true. The emails actually are posted online. I actually give a Chat GPT prompt where Chat GPT will pull the phone numbers and the email address for you. And another part is, like, I kind of like to say, go ahead and, shake hands and kiss babies.
Show up.
So we do a lot of in-person stuff. We do a lot of phone stuff. And I'll admit 95% of our clients come from social media. So most of y'all right now are here because you heard me running my big mouth. So that's a lot of how we get our tenants and our clients for this housing, social media. And we call it LIFT, L-I-F-T.
Yeah.
LIFT for us stands for LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Yep.
If you're not on those 4, you don't even exist. I was coaching a family today. I was like, have y'all did your social media yet? I was like, nah. Have y'all shot any videos yet? She's like, nah. Like, well, nobody don't know you. And I always say this, right? If you fry the best fried chicken, but you never talk about it, how do people know to come buy it from you?
Yeah.
So just to answer your questions again, guys, remember, I used to be the social worker, so I understand the other side of it. You just had to call me. Bribe me with coffee and donuts.
Ooh.
One of my biggest secrets is God first, coffee and donuts next.
Listen,
that's one of my biggest secrets.
And see, people have to be mindful, right? You're not bugging people or badgering people. You're providing them with something that they need, and that is access to housing. You've seen it all on the news, all on every type of media outlet, social media outlet, how housing has become a huge necessity, right? People always need somewhere to be housed. So you've got to be consistent. Sure. You've got to be persistent, and you've got to not be fearful of getting out there and really connecting with people, right? A lot of times people don't realize that it's going to be important that you have all of your ducks in a row when you start going out to introduce yourself to these case managers and social workers. They're going to trust but verify. So they want to know that you have a website. They want to know if you have social media, because they want to see if this is actually something you do, or is this just something that you're claiming to do, or trying to tip your toe in to see if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because a lot of times what people don't realize is case managers and social workers are very, 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 they're very, what's the word I want to use? They're very, they want to take care of their clients. They're people that they're invested in the lives of the people that they're servicing. And if they see that you're not about your business, they will not allow you to house their clients. So the goal for them is to make sure that they're sending that person to a reputable place, somewhere that they can go and view and see that you are who you say you are. They're going to verify you. So you want to make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row. This is not Shay's housing. Shay's not showing up as Shay. I am the Angela Denise Foundation. Derrick is Second Chance Housing. We've got 311 Solutions. We got all of these different entities, right? And that's who we're showing up as. Because I'm telling you, what you're not going to do is put your social security number on a W-9 if they start cutting you checks, or if somebody, you know, if you're if they have a program that'll allow you to house people they won't even allow you to, put it that way, right? You have to have a business, and they're going to want to validate that. So just make sure that you are showing up everywhere you go. Make sure you have cards on you, business cards. There's something that I do on a regular basis, and those are toiletry totes for people that are asking, how do you find residents? I do toiletry totes. So Derrick, in Derrick's truck, in my car, wherever, if we're together, if we're apart, there's a toiletry bag that has soap, shampoo, arm deodorant, lotion, toothbrush, toothpaste, my card. Hello, my card, bottled water, Vienna sausages, some tuna, some crackers. These are things that I am handing out when I'm in public and I encounter the homeless population. They may not want to be housed with me, but I guarantee you they may know somebody or find somebody or go to their case manager, because a lot of people don't realize a lot of these individuals that you see panhandling, that you see out on the streets, have access to case management. And sometimes the case manager gets the card from them. Yep. And the case manager call and say, hey, you handed out a toiletry bag to one of my residents to one of my clients, and they handed me your card. Or I scanned the QR code that was on the water bottle that you had in the card. In the bag. So they're getting my information. So you've got to unturn every stone to get your name out there and be consistent in your messaging, right? Don't let your social media page just be about you and what you're doing at home, right? If you're talking about business and you're going down the path of business, set up a social media page for your business. Right? And let that be all you discuss on that page is your business. So I land my plane. I hope that helps.
Good stuff. Other than that, man, I love y'all like a fat kid loves cake. TikTok, thank y'all so much as well. Chatter, Clubhouse, we're on a lot of different forums. So wherever you joined us from tonight, we want to say thank you. You guys could have been anywhere tonight, but y'all chose to be here, and we super appreciate that. So I want everybody again to text that phrase more info.
Back tomorrow night.
To the 407-326-0086. And again, guys, every night at 7 p.m., come right here. But on Saturdays at 10 a.m., you come live on YouTube as well, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to send this.
Other than that, Shay, I'm going to let you bless these people. And we'll pray you guys out of here. We'll get y'all out of here. So, yeah, so the beauty is it, guys, a lot of people that y'all run into will beg y'all and be trying to trick y'all, because they also need the finances. I'm so grateful that God has been really good to my wife and I. We don't have to trick y'all, mistreat y'all, or beg y'all to get into this. That's between you and God. You know what God told you to do. Procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do.
Yeah.
Now you can say ouch, or you can say amen. Or you can say both.
You can say them both at the same time.
But procrastination is still this, and post it tonight on your page. Procrastination is the arrogant assumption. Guys, do you want to be arrogant against God and assume that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to act on? And for most of y'all, it's to help people and get involved in real estate to create generational wealth so that you can be the biggest giver at your church, your community, and in your family. This is not a selfish gain. This is for community. This serves God and people. Genius business. So guys, I'll admit, every business I have probably sell like maybe one. They all serve God, people, and community. That's the cheat code to life. If you want to learn something from Derrick as your big brother, find a business that serves God, serves people, and serves community, and solve a problem. When you do that, your income is built into it. My name is Derrick Forston, and I appreciate you guys. Shay, bless these people. Let's get out of here.
Mindset is everything, folks. Be victorious in all that you do. A lot of times we have not because we ask not, and we don't believe in ourselves that we are are worthy of those things that we are desiring. And a lot of times what people don't realize, it comes with hard work and dedication. Consistency.
Not easy.
Consistency, persistency. One day we're going to sit down and we're going to get vulnerable with you guys and share, like, this journey is not always a mountaintop. It's valley seasons. There's times, and that's the thing about business. When you start a business, God will open other doors for you to start other businesses that stem from that one business. So just be mindful of that. When you steward the little, God allows you to be steward over much. This is just like the gifts and talents, right? And if you live life in a way that is, one, pleasing to God, in obedience, and just really doing what God has called you to do with no excuses. I think so many different doors, I know so many different doors will open for you because it's happened for us. Do it and do it afraid. Man, there's so many things I can say and I want to say, but I want to empower you and encourage you that you, in order to be successful in business, there has to be a mindset shift. Okay. A paycheck is one thing, but what happens when that paycheck is no longer available, right? That's the safety net. But now when you're in business, your faith is for real. Like, show me somebody that has faith. It's going to be an entrepreneur or business owner. I guarantee you, because most times you don't know where the next thing's coming from. But you have to believe that if God placed you in a position to do something, or he has called you to do something, that all provision will be made, will come for you. And I'll be honest and just share this before we go. We call it 18 months. We just call it that. And apparently we're supposed to write a book about it, and we are. And we're going to probably do like a spinoff podcast on this channel so that you guys get insight to how do you persevere through those 18 months. Right. A lot of people hear Derrick talk about his brother that passed. And during that passing of his brother, a lot of transitions took place, and it hit us financially and in the business realm of things. And we had to persevere, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say perseverance, it was a lot of crying days. It was a lot of screaming days, yelling, and not at each other, not even at each other. And I'm so grateful for that. And that's one thing I want to add to you too. For those of you that are married or in relationships, when you're going through those seasons, hold fast to the one that God's allowing you to traverse that season with. Don't allow the season to cause a rift in the relationship, because it's hard enough to go through a situation that can be a shaken in the natural alone. So when you have somebody that you can do it with, make sure that you don't allow that anger or that frustration to be thrown on that person, because there's plenty of opportunities where you can do that. But the 18 months, guys, and I'll tell you this, a lot of times I say this, and this is it. God is sovereign and he knows all things. So that 18 months he knew was coming. And to me, it was like our Job season. And it created a new us. It created a new outlook. It created a more vast mindset. We already did some mindset shifting, but it caused us to shift even more to get us into the next level. So a lot of times you don't curse your crisis, because your crisis go through the hands of a sovereign God. Right? The enemy, a lot of us blame the devil on a lot of things, but let me tell you something. The same way the devil was traversing the land to and fro, seeing who he could devour. And he was asking God, and God said, have you thought about my servant Job? That was the devil that thought about Job. God said, have you thought about Job? You can do whatever you want to him, but you can't take his life. That's what God said, y'all. So what happens in that? You've got to see God in every issue, in every struggle, in everything, and persevere through it. It's always going to be a lesson in that test. And the way you go through that test, you can be successful at it, or you can stay longer in the processing plant. Right. So you either got to tighten up and get in alignment with what God is doing and incline your ear to see how you press through that thing, or you stay in the process and plan even longer until you're flourished, until you've been processed enough to come out as pure gold. So I just want to say that to say this. I say that to say this. Again, businesses and running businesses take a lot of oomph. We work more now than we've ever worked on our regular jobs. And I worked a lot of hours, y'all. 12,
14-hour days at times, right?
I worked a lot of in corporate America. Ask Derrick, he'll tell you I'll leave before the sun came up and come home when the sun's not up. But just know that, you know, it's worth doing. So do it and do it well. Right. And then you'll see that the more God can, the more you cherish and nurture what God has given you, the more he's going to allow you to tap into, because he can trust you with more. So have a great night. Be encouraged. I am not going to apologize for my rant because I deem it necessary. Mindset is everything. And if we don't change that mindset, we create another generation of individuals that feel like they cannot be successful when there is a lot of opportunity for success. So walk in it. Let God carry you. Don't wait to be great. We'll be back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern.